Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about the application and the definition of terms of the E-Commerce Act. So first is the application. So where do we apply the Electronic Commerce Act? So this act shall apply to any kind of electronic data message and electronic document used in the context of commercial and non-commercial activities to include domestic and international dealings, transactions, arrangements, agreements, contracts, and exchanges and storage of information. So commercial activity is an activity intended for exchange in the market with the goal of earning an economic profit, while the non-commercial activity is not primarily intended for commercial advantage or monetary compensation by an individual or the organization. In short, they apply to such transactions like purchases of goods online, making a legitimate deal with your business partners or client, having your bills paid online, and whether they are done in the Philippines or outside the country. So to understand more, we are going to define some term for the purpose of this act. So what is addressee? So addressee refers to a person who is intended by the originator to receive the electronic data message or electronic document, but does not include the person acting as an intermediary with respect to that electronic data message or electronic document. Example, in an online transaction, the addressee is one to whom the electronic message or document is addressed. So if we compare the addressee to the relationship of the sender and the receiver is like the addressee. Also, it says that it does not include the person acting as an intermediary. So who is the intermediary? So it will be discussed also later. So what is a computer? Computer refers to any device or apparatus which can receive, record, transmit, store, process, correlate, analyze, project, retrieve, or and reproduce information, data, text, graphics, figures, voice, video, symbols, or other modes of expression, or perform any one of these functions. So when we think of computer, the first picture that comes in our mind is this. But a computer is not just a desktop computer, but also these types of computers, such as laptop, netbook, hybrid, tablet, and a smartphone.
So next, what is electronic data message? Electronic data message refers to information generated, sent, received, or stored by electronic, optical, or similar means. It is any information such as printout or output, readable by sight, or other means created, exchanged, and stored within an electronic or optical device like cell phones, computers, camera, and many more. So some of the examples are files in computer hard drives and diskettes, computer printouts, text messages, Facebook chats, multimedia messages, and CCTV footage. Next, what is information and communication system? Information and communication system refers to a system for generating, sending, receiving, storing, or otherwise processing electronic data messages or electronic documents. So it includes computer system or other similar device by in which data is recorded or stored and any procedures related to the recording or storage of electronic data message or electronic document. So it is any device or system that is used to generate, exchange, and store electronic documents. So it includes computers, keyboards, disk drives, iPods, flash drives, cell phones, and many more. It can also include software such as operating system and database management system. So next, what is electronic signature? Electronic signatures refers to any distinctive mark, characteristics, and or sound in electronic form representing the identity of a person and attached to or logically associated with the electronic data message or electronic document, or any methodology or procedures employed or adopted by a person and executed or adopted by such person with the intention of authenticating or approving an electronic data message or electronic document. So it is a signature in an electronic form made in an electronic document to confirm or approve a document. So examples includes a scanned image of a person's ink signature, a mouse wiggle on a screen, or a hand signature created on a tablet using your finger or stylus, a signature at the bottom of your email, a video signature, a voice signature, and the I agree checkbox. Next,
What is electronic document? It refers to information or the representation of information, data, figures, symbols, or other modes of written expression by which a right is established or an obligation extinguished or a fact may be proved and affirmed. So in short, electronic document is any information that have undergone computer processing, may it be sent, communicated, or stored for as long as through electronic means. For evidential purposes, electronic document shall be functional equivalent of written document. In fact, electronically signed document shall have the same legal validity as those signed through pen and paper. Next is what is electronic key? It refers to a secret code which secures and defends sensitive information that crosses over public channels into a form decipherable only with a matching electronic key. So electronic key serves as a password for the e-commerce site and the customer. E-commerce sites are target for cyber attacks, more prominently cyber threat. Electronic key provides security for data loss or breach of customers' trust. In addition, electronic key provides additional authentication to protect the business and the customers. Last, who is an intermediary? A person who, in behalf of another person and with respect to a particular electronic data message or electronic document, sends, receives, and or stores or provides other services in respect of that data. So e-commerce also encompasses activities such as online auction, internet banking, online ticketing, and payment gateways. For such transactions, there is a need for an intermediary. The category of intermediary encompasses insurance companies, banks, logistics enterprises, and the stock exchange. One of the most common examples for this is when a person buys online and asks the bank who serves as an intermediary to pay for that purchased item.
To continue, we are now in originator. So what does originator means? Originator refers to a person by whom or on whose behalf the electronic document purports to have been created, generated, and or sent. The term does not include a person acting as an intermediary with respect to that electronic document. So in other words, in relation to an electronic document, originator means the original source of the document. They are entitled to regard the document as sent, in which the addressee will then regard it as received. Take note that the originator is different from intermediary. So what does service provider means? Service provider refers to a provider of online services or network access or the operator of facilities, therefore including entities offering transmission, routing, or providing of connections for online communications, digital or otherwise between or among points specified by a user of electronic documents of the user's choosing. So for example of electronic commerce service providers are Shopify, Magenta, Wix, and etc. Second, the necessary technical means by which electronic documents of an originator may be stored and made accessible to a designated or undesignated third party. Such service providers shall have no authority to modify or alter the content of the electronic document received or to make any entry therein on behalf of the originator, addressee, or any third party, unless specifically authorized to do so, and who shall retain the electronic document in accordance with the specific request or as necessary for the purpose of performing the services it was engaged to perform. Generally, the service providers are not allowed to change the content of electronic document received unless specifically authorized to do so by the originator, addressee, or third party. So if they are authorized, the modification shall be made only up to the extent of their authority or the specific purpose only. So meaning they are not allowed to alter or modify the electronic document beyond that. That ends now our report about the application and definition of terms under the Electronic Commerce Act. Thank you everyone and keep safe.